Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is June 2nd, and I want to talk to you today about our market maker levels. They provided us with some really good opportunities, albeit it took a very long time for us to be able to finally get to one of the target locations on the CL. We'll talk about an ES trade that we took as well. And then at the end of this particular commentary, I'm going to show you the CL trade along with the ES trade that we took here today. Now, if you were in with us early in the session, you know that it was a little bit choppy, a little bit bouncy, and we were down some ticks heading into this trade. But that is the beauty of these levels. Not only do they provide you with an excellent entry location, they give you excellent location for targets. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So also in a moment, I'm going to show you the Bloodhound Signals. And so if you're not familiar with Bloodhound, it's basically a signal. You come up with the idea, and then you program it, and it'll fire out the signals for you. And I'm going to show you just what the choppy conditions did for us here today, what they caused here. But again, we had the right idea, and we were in sync with the way that the levels were working today. So one of the things that we talk about with our levels is they are like steps on a ladder. If you can't make it to the step above, then you're looking for it to make it to the step below. If you can't make it to the step below, then you're moving up the ladder to the next level above you. So for today, again, we have, before I go into that, we also have what we call this nomenclature: kick the signal, pay the target. And so if you hit one of these signal levels, right, then you are looking to reach out to the target. And this is the upper target one. This is the lower target. So again, we talk about kick the signal, which in the nomenclature of the market maker who taught me how to draw these levels, that was simply touch the level and kick the signal and pay the target, right? And that ultimately is what you're looking for, is you're looking for it to come up to this target here or down to this target below. Now, this morning, when the market opens up below the structure mid, we actually looked to get short. And we did have this sweet spot that we had called well in advance. We drew that on the chart before we even got started this morning. Before we had started the audio portion, we had talked about that sweet spot being down there at 35.64. Now, I had gotten short off of this RTH mid, and we were looking to come down to the signal below. In fact, if you look at your Bloodhound Signals, this is what this was, right? This was the signal here to get short in this bar. We were looking to carry it down into that RTH signal. The fact that we could not make it down to the RTH signal was telling, ends up being telling for the rest of the day, right? You can't make it to the level below, you make it to the level above. Now, we got, what you'll notice here when I show you the video is you're going to see the price ladders. You're going to see that I was down some ticks on the CL, and I was down some ticks ultimately on the ES. And but again, what the beauty of these levels are is that we're able to take these levels to a target. And a lot of times these targets are, 3, 2.5, 3, 4 to 1. And in the case of the CL today, it ended up being a 4.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Now, also, I need to tell you before we get into the video that I am trading one lots right now. We have a special announcement that we're going to be making here in the next week or two that we think is going to be super cool. And if you've been following us for any length of time, you'll know that this is really cool. But that is for a later time. But today and into the future here, I'm going to be looking to trade one lots in anticipation of going to this new thing that I'll be rolling out. Anyway, that's enough of a teaser on that. Let's talk about where we ended up getting in here today. So as the market broke out and over the top of the volume weighted average price, and we were within the zone of influence of our level, we would get in long and we'd come back and get either stopped out at break even, or I would take a small stop. Market comes back, we look to get in. And finally, at one point here, we were in over the top of the volume weighted average price, and we were in long. The market pulls back. We were long at 01. The market pulls back right to 01 and takes me out. And now we were looking to target from this 01. This took me out to the tick, by the way. We were looking to target into that RTH session target up there, which was 88 ticks. Market right going into the European session close, comes right up into your RTH signal, as you can see, and then begins to drop and pull back. Now, what we did is I ended up getting long at this 29 level. Once you broke inside of the box here, I ended up getting long at this 29. Actually, it was back here at this 29 once on the pullback into the bottom of the zone. And then the market really just chops around. My stop was at 16, and it was below this area here that was very strong resistance on the way up. So my stop here was at 16, and the entry was up here at 30, actually. And we were looking to target that same RTH target. Now, this trade, gosh, we ended up getting in here at 10:30, and it ends up hitting the target. In fact, let's just fast forward this here just a little bit. We'll just move the chart forward here. And you can see all the way into here. Now, it's a little bit difficult to see, but it does come up all the way here. In fact, if you do this, you can see that the high of that bar was 36.89, and that was my target, 36.89 up there. And so market triggers and gets right up into that target from our 30 long. This took well over well over 2.5 hours and almost 3 hours on this trade. Now, there were a couple of scary moments on the trade, but again, this is how you use your market maker levels as support and resistance. In this case, support. Market rallies up to a high. We were in long from 30. Market comes up to 59, pulls back all the way down to the RTH signal, doesn't close below, rallies up, makes a new high up here at 67, pulls back to just below the RTH signal. Our entry again was at 30, and then the market rallies all the way up to the RTH target to take out the target for 59 ticks on a single lot. Lot of angst. It was some boring points in here today. But when you take a step back and you look at the way the chart kind of played itself out today, in retrospect, it's very clear the market was rallying, right? High, higher low, new high, clear out some of the structure, lower high, higher low, come back, small pullbacks all the way up until you get into your target today. And that was a very good tell, if you will, as to what the market was going to be doing. And in actuality, it continues on up through that. Now, that is what the day levels look like. Let me show you what the overnight levels look like, and you'll get a good sense of those also. Again, same kind of idea. Kick the signal, pay the target. If you can't get to the level above, then you're looking for the level below. Market comes in, finds resistance at the ETH signal, pulls back into the volume weighted average price, then sort of rotates around that, gets above that RTH signal. And again, we never made it to the level of below, so you're looking for it to make it to the level above. Here is your kick the signal in the overnight session, pay the target, and that was a very handsome opportunity here on the CL, as that goes for 65 ticks in the overnight session. As the market continued to play itself out today, again, you could see that yesterday's upper target one was the stopping point, right? So these levels did reset at the pit close, or the RTH session close, but look at what the high was. It ended up being the market maker level up here. And so that's the way these levels work. It's not always easy to stay in these trades. These trades do play around quite a bit, and it's not always easy to stay in. Now you're going to see, here's the ES, by the way, and you're going to see me get into an ES trade. You're going to see me target. The target actually was up here at 71.5. So again, if you were in the room with us today, you know that I was in long from this 50. I think I was in long from 57, right in this area, 57.5, something like that. And again, we were looking for the market to rally all the way up into this RTH signal. And this was just a bit deeper of a pullback than I wanted to. Maybe I was in, I can't remember exactly. You'll see it in the video. I'm in around this area. I end up getting taken out up here at 63. It does end up pulling all the way back down to 57.25, so I may not have been able to stay in. Doesn't get down through the VWAP, and again, same thing idea, right? We can't get down to the level below, so you're looking for the market to come to the level above, and in this case, that was the RTH signal, and right at the end of the day, it comes in and takes out that level at the RTH signal. Now, if you look at the overnight levels, it was a very good example of how these levels play out for you in the overnight session. And again, market comes into the ETH signal. We can't make it to the step below. We do break back over the top of the ETH, or the extended trading hours signal, And so again, kick the signal and pay the target, and that is your expectation level. And this level trade here was 20.5 ES points in the overnight session. Once you got north of the volume weighted average price, once you got north of this level here, it was pretty much smooth sailing in that overnight session all the way up to the ETH target. So that is the way your levels played out. Now, we have spent no time in this video talking to you about these sweet spots, but if you know anything about what we do here, you know that these sweet spots are very, very powerful. In fact, the market comes down to within 2 ticks of this sweet spot on this really aggressive push to the downside, and then begins that rally up. So again, same kind of idea. That is within the margin of error on the sweet spot area. Same thing here. Came right down, went through it, 6-8 ticks. Again, within the margin of error on the sweet spot, and then the market rallies considerably. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you watch the CL trade. You're going to hear me get into the CL trade. It was nearly 3 hours. I'm already in progress on the ES trade that we took, which you're ultimately going to see me get taken out at 63. Our target was this RTH signal that ends up being struck all the way up here at 72. It just, unfortunately, I was not able to stick around long enough on this steep pullback into the volume weighted average price. But again, it is comforting to know that target did get paid out as we expected. So you're going to see me get in and hear me get into the CL trade. Then you're going to see the ES trade in progress. I'm going to split those trades into pieces. I'm going to speed up the tape, put some music behind it, and you're going to be able to see where it is exactly that we end up exiting these trades. Now, there's one other thing to note. Right at the very end of the CL trade, my Ninja Trader crashed, and you're going to see a blank screen. You'll get to still see the price ladders. You'll see where the price takes it out up there at 89. You'll see me hit the target, but my Ninja Trader did crash. By the way, that is a good lesson in maintaining redundancy, right? So I'm not trading on the same platform that I am doing my chart work for the most part, and that's a lot of the reason why is what you'll see in this video today. When my Ninja Trader crashed, this more lightweight platform stayed afloat, and I was able to manage the trade all the way up to the target. So anyway, having said all of that, I appreciate you watching the videos here today, and without further ado, here is that CL trade of the day. Long right in this area on the CL also. 30 long on the CL. Stop is 17. And we're going to be now looking to reach out to that RTH target at 89 up above.